Hello and welcome to the VHS Show. This is a show dedicated to VHS films that are not yet on DVD and probably will never be on DVD, like this particular film called SPACERAGE. Now at first I mispronounced this as SPACERAGE because the title ran together. Everywhere on the box, SPACERAGE is one word, but it's really called SPACERAGE. There I go again, I keep on calling it SPACERAGE. The only way that you can pronounce this as SPACERAGE is to look at the title box where there are lines through the word rage. Now, why couldn't they just use a space? Why do they have to use this weird little font here? Was it so hard to just put a space? And it's not like it's just with the cover, it's also everywhere on the back here. Well, obviously, with a name like SPACERAGE, it's gonna be a science fiction film, right? Well, other than the fact that it takes place on a deserted planet and everyone rides around in go-karts, there's nothing really sci-fi about it. It's more of an action western than actually a sci-fi film, so I'd have no idea why they called it SPACERAGE. The film starts off with a bank robbery on the 100-something floor of a bank. I find it weird that a bank would be on the 100th floor of a building, but whatever. Now apparently he's really lucky on this day because there's nobody going up and down the stairs that he's escaping from, or even around the stairs. But what really floors me about this is that he actually does get caught when he gets to the ground floor, but when he gets to the ground floor, not only do the cops jump off of the floor that he was just on, but a fishnet descends from God knows where and captures him right before the cops descend on him. It doesn't make any sense. After going through an extremely quick trial, he's banished from Earth and sentenced to the prison planet called Botany Bay. Now, you know what I love about this planet the most? The fact that it's called Botany Bay and it's a deserted planet. But what I love even more about this prison planet is that they have a really great way of telling who a felon is, because all the prisoners have the word felon printed on the back of their shirt. Yes, that's how they organized them, with felon on the back of their shirt. And just so you know who's in charge on this planet, it's this guy dressed in a Boss Hogg costume calling himself the governor. Now how much more stereotypical can you get like that? All you need now is some Cool Hand Luke type character. Now, I had a really hard time trying to figure out who the main character in this film was. At first, I thought it was going to be Grange, this guy with the ponytail who's supposed to be evil, but he learns the lesson in the end. Well, he doesn't. And then I thought it was going to be Walker, who is like this bounty hunter who comes in like the second act and tries to hunt down Grange. But no, you know who ends up being the main character? Richard Farnsworth as the Colonel. No other name, just the Colonel. And he doesn't play any really key role until the third act. He just comes in the third act saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna stop Grange."
Oh, man. I tried. But I couldn't stop him.
But I can.
Strangely enough, he's the only character I actually cared about in this film because he actually has depth to him. He keeps on having this reoccurring dream where he can't load his shotgun fast enough to kill a criminal. And I say reoccurring because they show the same dream twice and at the same length with no other new information involved. And once we reach the climax of the film, of course he learns from his mistake and loads his shotgun fast enough. But what sucks about this scene is that in his dreams, he can't load it fast enough and a criminal throws a knife at him. But when Grange comes at him with a knife, he just sort of lunges forward towards him in a move that even the Colonel could have just stepped aside from and reloaded his shotgun really quickly. So I wouldn't really call it a triumph over his dreams, just really being lucky. The effects in this film range from mediocre to passable. I mean, there are some good explosions and the model work with the shuttle at the beginning is pretty cool, but the real flaws with the gun battles. I mean, there are some scenes where you will see a gun fire, and then some scenes where you'll just hear a gun firing and a guy holding a gun going stuff like that. But even more hilarious are the deaths. I am not kidding you. There is one shot in this film where two people are shot. One guy sort of fake dies to the ground, like and the other guy has squibs explode on him in the same shot. Now, did they run out of squibs or something? Could they not share a squib? I mean, what's going on? There's also a lot of mistakes in the battles. Like, there's an explosion where some guy is supposed to be flung, and some guy who was pulling the strings for him to be flung prematurely did it 1 second before the explosion went off. I mean, the director has to be shitting himself going, what the fuck were you doing? You couldn't get your cue right? Now, in defense of the soundtrack, there is some well-composed rock music in this film, but the problem is, the one lyrical song in this film, called Blood Money, is played over and over again. Well, actually it's more like 3 times, but it becomes annoying because the only lyric in the song is Blood Money. Blood, blood, blood money, blood money. The acting is okay with the exception of Grange, who has to say the F word about every sentence.
Please state your name for voice print identification.
Fuck you.
Voice print confirmed.
But the one standout role in this film is that there's some Irish guy who has this very blatant Irish accent. I'm not talking a very mild Irish accent. I'm talking the full, alright, show's over folks, nothing to see here type accent. I mean, it's that bad.
The hell was that?
Governor's house, lad. Governor's house. Let's go.
But of course, the one real good actor in this film is Richard Farnsworth, who plays the Colonel. I mean, it's so cool that he plays this old guy who goes around shooting up criminals and doesn't end up dying in the end. Now, how many action films do you see some old guy in a mustache blow the fuck away everybody and still live in the end?
Help me.
I'll help you, you sorry son of a bitch.
So, that's my review of Space Rage, a B-movie action sci-fi western, or whatever. So, that's all I have for this week. Remember, you can email me at thevhsshow@gmail.com. And until next time, please be kind and rewind.